we're here at Untitled, and it looks really good this year. This is Omar Shahood's fair, and we're at Johansson Projects, and I'm speaking with Craig Doherty, and he does a light piece. So let's have a look. So can you tell us about what's going on here, Craig?
Yeah, so I use individually programmable LED technology to create colorful animations that are deeply rooted in color theory, and they're inspired by ocular migraines that cause distortions in my vision.
Oh, wow.
I use computer-controlled machinery to cut the materials, and I do all the programming, I design circuit boards, and that's what it takes to make these things a reality.
So they come from migraines?
Yeah, that's the original inspiration.
Wow, awesome. And are you thinking about Joseph Albers and punning on all that?
Yeah, Joseph Albers, the early Bauhaus color theorists, are a big influence in my work. James Turrell is a big influence. All of the light art space movement from Southern California. Also inspired by Donald Judd, and anything square or round.
Very good.
I love your round piece in the entrance.
Let's look at that.
Too. Yeah. Come, tell us something about it. I think there's something about the circle that is so inspiring.
Well, yeah, so there's a very different way that our brain processes straight lines versus rounded lines. It's like a different part of our brain. And so when your brain is trying to process very sharp, round curves, it doesn't quite know where to put it in space. And so the layers tend to change position in your mind, even though the sculpture is static. Your mind doesn't quite know how to deal with it.
But at the same time, it's very relaxing. Very relaxing.
They're very meditative, and that's how I took the pain and the difficulty of migraine and transformed it into something that is beautiful and relaxing and almost therapeutic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome.
We're looking forward to see more of your work.
Thanks for stopping by.
Let's go to the next one. Yeah, this is an amazing art fair. What do you think, Gay? What do you like?
I like this fair a lot, and I think Omar Lopez Shahood has done a fantastic job. And we did want to have a peek here at the David Ryan. David Ryan is a California artist, and he just hits it out of the park.
He's not from California.
Nevada. All right, close enough.
All right.
And so he's always chopping up the shapes, and in my mind, I see the new work every now and again in my email box, and they're phenomenal. Do you want to say something?
Yes, you see, you see the recent works. They were exhibited in the gallery a few days ago, and he's a digital artist. He called these paintings 2.5D paintings because it's between two-dimensional and three dimensions. He begins with the mouse, and then he enlarges the picture, and then he makes every panel, and it's made by a robot, cut by a robot, laser, water, and so on. So he uses the new technology, but he's really in the tradition of painting, and it's a new way to be a painter now.
Absolutely, yes. And it's always surprising and fresh, and you're just looking forward to the next one.
And when collectors come back, they say, "This work make me happy."
Yes. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are approaching to another gallery which is based in Chile, and so here we are at Galleria Isabel Animat, and so we have the artist here, which is this work over here, which we all admire a lot, and here she is. And I'm going to remember her name, too. Can you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Marissa Bella Telleria. You can also call me Marissa. Yeah. This is part of the work. It's on this wall and the other side of the wall as well.
Okay, so can you tell us how do you derive this work? Where does your, tell us, invite us into what's happening in your mind in this work?
Well, this is an investigation that has been happening for a while in my work. It's
I'm going to keep pushing you over.
yeah. What you see here, they're smaller works, but they work as individual pieces as well as, you know, like a whole installation. But the investigation is really about perception. That's my interest in perception.
Nice.
Yeah, and you know, like I pay a lot of attention to light and color, but not just for what the color say that it represents, but for its luminosity. You know, for their perceptual presence.
Nice. So it's part of a visual language. You're speaking in real visual language.
Correct. And the same thing happens with the materials that I use. You know, they have a physicality to them. So I try to kind of work between between two arenas, or like within the coexistence of opposites. For example, materials have this real physicality. They're so there, and they like exist. But on the other hand, using color and the luminosity of them, I allude to the ephemeral, you know, to the illusion is the word, to the illusion of them. So they are there, they exist, but they also point to the absence of things. You know, like for example, here there's this thread, and so the thread is actually there, but it points to the space between the thread and the wall, you know, like the negative space. So like the absence of something as much as the presence of something. And the same can be seen here, for example.
This looks great from this angle too, Ed. Can you?
So like in this case, so there is...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there is this glow, right, that you can see, you know, that comes from the color of it, but then it's pointing to the emptiness of the frame of the painting. So it's like an illusory kind of painting, right?
And it also, to me, it references the ineffable. I mean,
Yes.
and basically visual language can take us to emotions and spirituality or whatever, the inner world that we can't get to with other languages.
Absolutely.
So this feels to me that it's taking me someplace I've never been before, and it's really
That's
fascinating.
wonderful, because that's really one of the intentions as well, to sort of create a situation where you can open up and really, by seeing the work, can sort of go within, you know, like looking at yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like going
the
in.
unknowing place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, the whole idea is to create that like a contemplative situation.
Very good, very good.
Where you can go deeper into wherever you need to go yourself.
All right, Larissa.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Fabulous.
much.
We're very excited for everybody on TV to see this lovely work.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Thanks for stopping by.
So it's 5 now.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
So what's the... Oh, so I missed it.
Do the colors.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing.